then 8 penalties if they do it a second time. 3 refusals or run-outs results in elimination. Riders are also eliminated if they fall off for a second time during their round, or if they jump any fences out of order. Riders are also judged on their style and technique, including criteria such as rider position, quality of the horse's paces and their rhythm and balance. This makes up the style mark. Add the 2 scores.
You are watching BETV.
Non-heating Bailey's low-cal balancer provides essential nutrients without unwanted calories for ponies, good doers, and the laminitis prone. Its low starch, low sugar, low calorie formula supports strong hooves, a healthy immune system, coat shine, and muscle tone. Feed a healthy calorie-controlled diet with Bailey's low-cal balancer.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
Hello and welcome to BETV. We're here at Hartpury College in Gloucestershire for the Jumping and Style Championships, also known as Jazz, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds. We'll be covering for you this evening 2 classes, the Novice and the Novice Open. But before we get into that, here is your pocket-sized guide to Jazz.
Jumping in Style, or Jazz, is a winter competition held by British Eventing and sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds. It's an arena-based competition over both show jumps and timed cross-country fences, with both BE members and non-members allowed to compete. Riders pick up 4 penalties for knocking down a show jump or cross-country fence, and 1 penalty for every second they go over the time limit. Riders also pick up 4 penalties for a refusal or run-out at a fence, then 8 penalties if they do it a second time. 3 refusals or run-outs results in elimination. Riders are also eliminated if they fall off for a second time during their round, or if they jump any fences out of order. Riders are also judged on their style and technique, including criteria such as rider position, quality of the horse's paces and their rhythm and balance. This makes up the style mark. Add the 2 scores from jumping and style together, and the rider with the overall lowest score wins. That's your guide to Jazz.
I'm joined now by David Holmes, Chief Executive of British Eventing. David, this Jazz series, it's been qualifiers from January through till February to this championship final today.
Yes.
What have you made of the series this year?
Well, I think the big thing to say is now that we've added the Open to the 90, the 100 and the Novice, we've given the opportunity to a lot more people to compete, but both in the qualifiers and also in the championship itself. It's been running now for 15 years, as we know, with Bailey's support, and I think it's really grown and grown in popularity in that time. And it gives people a great opportunity of doing something when in the off season from eventing. So I think the competitors really use it, a lot of them use it both to compete towards the championship in itself, but also it's fantastic preparation for the season ahead.
It's been fantastic in the sense that, with all the qualifiers that have happened from January onwards, hundreds of people have been towards it in terms of the qualifiers, even just to try and get to the championships here today. And what we've seen, standing rows, has been remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good to see. Talking to Claire earlier on, she said that it's great that they've seen the standard raising over the years from when it started some years ago, which in itself is brilliant. As you know, this is a jazz, so it's not just the jumping forms, but also they're judged on their style of jumping. So clearly they've seen an increase and an improvement in that style, which can only bode well for the future of the sport.
It's quite unique in that sense, isn't it? From what you've watched today, what have you enjoyed about it? What do you like about it?
I think the great thing is that people have so much fun, and because it's quite unlike when you go to an event, it's quite an enclosed environment, and the supporters and the people who are with all of the riders can be much closer to them. And I think the other great thing is that it gives more people an opportunity of competing in the one day, particularly as we've got lights here.
I mean, it's great, isn't it? Because, as in British eventing, you get given a time, so you know exactly when you're on. And it gives people a chance to get their eye in, doesn't it, before the season starts. Because some events are very much like cross-country fences you would see out on the course.
Absolutely. I remember earlier on I was talking to some of the riders who've just been in the prize giving, and they said for them it's a brilliant preparation for the season. So rather than them having to start the season, just go to some warm-up events initially just to do some schooling, they actually can start straight away competitively at their first events. And of course, as we know now, with British eventing, we've got a much bigger spread of events across the whole country, going from 80 through to advanced and international. That gives them a much better opportunity right from the start of the year to start competing competitively.
And from a training point of view, it's fantastic, isn't it, from a safety point of view?
Yes, absolutely. It's really important part of our sort of risk management strategy. The proactive element of that is very much the training. So yes, you have all of the emphasis on the fences and the training of the officials, the course designers, the deformable fences, etc. But where everything starts in terms of risk management is the basic training of the combinations. So that this is very much a part of that.
And that can be at any level, can't it? I mean, even those at the top should be considering training and safety, not just those starting at the 80 or...
Absolutely. No, whatever level rider you are, you need eyes on the ground to help you always. And you can get rusty. Each combination, particularly when they get to more advanced levels, their needs are different in terms of the preparation. They need to be able to go and do competitions, but they still do need to do that and ensure they follow that pathway. And as a rider and as a combination get more experienced and get more comfortable together in their competition, then they will get to know better what that balance is of the number of runs they have before they go up maybe to the next level, etc.
And as a rider, how would a rider find out about training opportunities? Where would they go? Would they go onto the British Eventing website?
Absolutely. So we've got all of the information about our regional training is on the British Eventing website. We also put a lot on Facebook, so everything that appears on the website basically will also be on Facebook. We now run regional training, so we have regional development officers in each of the regions who are working closely with their regional team of volunteers in order to make sure that we cover all of the levels from 12 to 17, basically, all of the different levels at regional level.
It's an interesting sport, isn't it? Because you really can compete male against female, child against adult. So we'll just it's there for everybody, isn't it?
It is. It's very interesting in all the work we did last year. In preparation for the new format for the Olympic Games, one of the big things that the IOC said that we have that no other sports have is the gender equality. But I think the other great thing that a lot of people say with our events is at all sorts of levels you can be competing alongside of William Fox Pitt, for example. And I think people love that additional aspect. So different ages, different men and women competing alongside of each other, and different levels of competition as well.
And of course, from an Olympic point of view, that extra element of having an animal athlete alongside you.
Absolutely, we're unique. Lots of other sports have equipment, like yachting, for example, but we're unique in that we have a living athlete. I think the other place in which we're unique is that our athletes can continue their competitive career at the Olympic level much longer. Whereas if you're a swimmer or runner, you're limited in terms of your age and your fitness. Whereas in equestrian, you can keep going for much longer.
Well, thanks, David. Thanks for that. It's very interesting for now. We'll probably have more from you a bit later on.
Okay.
But for now, please make sure you stay tuned. We'll be back with some action after this break.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
Bailey's Outshine combines omega oils from soya and linseed, which promote head-turning coat shine and condition, provides slow-release calories for controlled energy, improve stamina and support recovery, and all while helping you regulate starch and sugar in the diet. Let your horse shine from within with Bailey's Outshine High Oil Supplement.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
Welcome back to BETV. We're live at Hartpury College in Gloucestershire for the Jazz Championship sponsored by Bailey's. I just thought I would show you before we get into the action, as it is jumping and style. This is the Jazz score sheet. Now this is what the judges are using to judge the rider's style. So we have position and style upper body, position and style lower body, communication and contact, rider's aids, arena craft, and then for the horse, technique, which is defined by quick response with neat and tidy use of fore and hind legs, outlook and attitude, horse's willingness and demeanour, quality of pace and impulsion, and then the horse and rider combination, which is rhythm and balance. So things like free forward movement with confident regular steps and security of seat and even weight distribution of the rider. So for every rider that's come through here every 2 minutes since 8:30 this morning, there has been a judge judging on all these things, marking from poor, insufficient, acceptable, competent, good to very good. This gets broken down into a total score of 60, which then gets converted to penalties. And the rider and horse combination with the lowest amount of penalties wins. So I just thought I'd explain that's the style side of things. We'll be back with more of the action after these messages.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
You are watching BETV.
Non-heating Bailey's low-cal balancer provides essential nutrients without unwanted calories. For ponies, good doers, and the laminitis prone. Its low starch, low sugar, low calorie formula supports strong hooves, a healthy immune system, coat shine, and muscle tone. Feed a healthy calorie-controlled diet with Bailey's low-cal balancer.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
The course is 16 fences. The arena here at Hartpury is 40 by 70. The first 7 fences are show jumps, followed by 9 cross-country style fences. As you can see on your screen, we're just completing the ceremony now. It's actually quite a flowing course. It's ridden well today. Speaking to some of the riders earlier on this morning, a lot of horses.
Just need to wait for the signal on that.
Interestingly, in the 100, a few were having the first 2 fences down. apparently the horses, because they've been in before, starting to get a bit free-flowing going into the start, getting a bit flat and knocking them down. Now the arena party are just putting it up to novice height. There's a roll top there, that's on the course. And as you can see, just in the middle of your screen, there's the skinny. That's fence number 13. And often, quite a few of them have been jumping that on an angle. And just behind that roll top there is the careersinracing.com finale fence. That's the final fence they jump. And just on the left of your screen, there's the red, white and blue Oxer. That's the start. Fence number 6, that's one of the final show jumps before there's 3 strides to an upright gate. This is a triple combination on the right hand side. It's a 1 stride, 2 and then 2 strides. Got to be careful not to let them get too long and flat. The tractor's just whizzing round. Preparing this excellent surface. Bailey's Horse Feeds have been sponsoring the Jumping and Star for 15 years now, which is pretty impressive. So just talking about the penalty points again, riders pick up penalty points for knocking down a show jump or cross-country fence or exceeding the time allowed in the cross-country section. 4 penalties for a fence down and 1 penalty for every second over the time allowed. Now riders will pick up 4 penalties if their horse refuses or runs out at a fence, and 8 penalties if they do it a second time. 3 refusals or a run out result in elimination, as does the rider falling off for a second time during their round or jumping any of the fences the wrong way round, i.e. out of order. All this to think about while being judged on style and technique. Now the classes we've had today, we've had BE90, we've had 90 open, BE100, the 100 open, and then coming up soon will be the novice and open novice. The maximum height for the 90 is 90 centimetres. The 90 open, the maximum fence height has been a metre. For the BE100, against the maximum fence height is 100. The 100 open, the maximum fence height was a metre 10. Now we'll be covering the novice, where the maximum fence height will be a metre 15, and then the novice open later on will be a metre 15 and possibly a metre 20. That will be the maximum height of the fences for these championships. Now the Jazz champions today, there will be 6 champions overall, 1 for each class. They're taking away generous prizes from Bailey's, as well as up to £500 in training vouchers from BE to redeem against top quality coaching to keep these riders at the top of their game. And alongside this, the top 3 in the BE90 and BE100 Jazz Championships will automatically qualify for the new BE Arena Eventing Championship taking place at Aston Le Walls on the 11th of March, which is only a couple of weeks' time. Now I'll just talk a little bit about our sponsors, Bailey's Horse Feeds. They have been a family-owned company since they began in 1982. 2 generations working to progress equine nutrition in the 21st century. and pretty much most people involved in Baileys are horse people. They've been involved with racing, polo, as well as eventing, show jumping and dressage. You may remember back in the early 90s, Mr. Baileys, a brilliant little racehorse, won the 2,000 guineas and ran in the Derby that year. Anyway, for more information on Baileys, visit baileyshhorsefeeds.co.uk. We have a couple of fence sponsors as well. KBIS, this is their 5th year as fence sponsor of Jazz. They are also an associate sponsor to BE's training and education programme, as well as the title sponsor of the Young Horse Championships and Series. KBIS are the UK's leading independent horse insurance specialists with over 25 years of experience. KBIS offer a range of policies for the leisure horse to high-value sports horses. Their product range also includes horsebox and trailer insurance, property insurance, standalone personal accident cover, as well as specialist liability insurance. Members of BE are entitled to exclusive discounts when taking out a policy with KBIS. These details can be found on the BE Members Benefits website, which is on the British Eventing website. Or, if you want to know more details on KBIS, please visit www.kbis.co.uk or follow them on Twitter and Facebook. Our finale fence, which is the brush with the plank over the top, is a Careers in Racing fence. This is their 3rd year as fence sponsor. Careers in Racing are responsible for implementing recruitment, training, education and community initiatives for the horse racing industry. Careers in Racing have been supporting the employment and career development within the equestrian industry for several years now, and they boast a wealth of experience in all areas of employment, from recruitment advice to recognition for those already working in the industry. You can find out more at careersinracing.com. If you're just joining us, welcome to BETV. We're here at Hartpury College in Gloucestershire for the Jumping and Style Championships, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds. We'll be covering the Novice and the Novice Open classes, which are due to start shortly. The competitors are just completing their final course walk. Having a look over these 16 fences. Quite a lot to remember on this course. 16 fences, a few twists and turns along the way, but it's been riding nicely. It's a flowing course, very inviting. The biggest dilemma has been whether to turn in or outside some of the furze to try and make up those valuable seconds. Every second over the optimum time is a penalty. And don't forget, once the official British eventing season starts at the beginning of March, BETV will be showing winning cross-country rounds every week from affiliated events, thanks to our new partnership with An Eventful Life, kicking off with Aston Le Walls, which is only a couple of weeks away. Later on this afternoon, we're going to be talking to Jane from Bailey's Horse Feeds, who will be able to answer any of your feeding questions. So you can tweet British Eventing, hashtag Bailey's Jazz, that's Bailey's JAS, and she can go through your questions live on air and discuss any of your feeding issues. So if you tweet British Eventing, hashtag Bailey's JAS with any feeding queries, anything at all, Jane will be here later on and she can talk you through them. There have been qualifiers for the Jazz Championship since the beginning of January, every weekend at various venues around the country. and it is open to BE members and non-members alike. You don't have to be a member of BE to compete, and that also applies to the regular British eventing competitions. You can get a day ticket and off you go. In fact, if you have a look at the British Eventing website, which is britisheventing.com, you will find all sorts, fantastic range of training clinics, courses, camps. You can put your postcode into the search bar at britisheventing.com/training and see what's available in your area. Right, riders are just being called out of the arena now, so we should be getting underway shortly. Can I say also that Bailey's are also sponsoring today's live streaming on BETV, so we're very grateful to them. We've got 44 entries in this novice class.
Well, we welcome into the arena Betty Baker and Tally-Ho Charlie, number 186.
So this is Betty
They
Baker.
qualified at Arena K.
Betty Baker riding the grey Tally-Ho Charlie. Two down, which she will be disappointed with, but as one of the riders was saying earlier, some of these horses, they've been in here before, they think they know it all, they're just running on a bit, getting a bit flat, which is a shame because this first show jumping section isn't timed. They're not timed until after this white gate here, which is then a big right to the first cross-country fence. Going to the line along the side. 2 strides. And this row close double is a bounce, which I think puts the riders off more than the horses. She's gone round the first to the wall. Over skinny, 2 skinnies, and then a set of corners at the top here. Oh, unlucky. Just going to have to represent it now. Just lost the outside shoulder going into that. Safely over second time, and then over the finale, careers in racing. She'll be disappointed with that, but it's always tough going first.
Well, that was 12 show jumping, got 8 cross-country jump, and 21 time there for Tally-Ho Charlie and Betty Baker. Time allowed now 53 seconds, so 2 seconds off the previous time.
Now we
Now
have in the
welcome
arena number
James
187.
Foxon, he's riding Selected for Me. Number
This is James Foxon riding Selected for Me here in the Novice Championships, jumping in style, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds. With the giraffes, and then left-hand turn, upright, 4 strides to the gate, and then starting the cross-country section. This is timed. This is where you've got to think carefully of your lines. Whilst not getting too carried away, if you get a bit long and flat along that line, then they fall down very easily, these jump for joy jumps. Road close, bounce. He's gone outside the furs as well. A lot of horses in the 100 class came inside those first step wall because it's quite an inviting wall. You can jump it on an angle. So far they've been cautious in the novice. The second skinny has been introduced for this novice class. That wasn't there in the 100. And the set of corners. And then back down the arena to the finale fence, Careers in Racing. And a pat. It's always nice to see.
Well, that was 4 show jumping penalties, 4 cross-country jump penalties, and 6 times selected for me, James Foxon. Tally-ho Charlie, Betty Baker, start left of 26. Into the arena now we have Daniela Johnston. She's riding Elton John the second. Second time we've seen Elton John the second today, and they qualified at Bishop Burton.
Now in the arena we have Daniela Johnston. She's riding Elton John the second. Daniela competed earlier in the day in the 100. Very careful over those KBIS planks. Completing her show jumping round. Now, rush to the triple. Over the roll top. Nicely through the planks. Efficient horse, this one. Just having to work hard to check him back, but he's got a very tidy little stride.
Well, that's our first to go inside the time, clear all the way there for Elton John the second and Daniela Johnson.
Well, that was very good. Inside
Next
the
to
time.
jump is
And a clear round.
previous class winner,
She'll
Tricky
be one
Johnny
to watch.
and Natalie McGoldrick, number 189.
Now,
Tricky
coming in
Johnny
now is number 189,
qualified
Natalie
for
McGoldrick.
this
She
final.
also competed earlier in the 100. She's riding Tricky Johnny.
Both Bereswood and Wellington. And a star marking for Selected for me, James Foxon of 25, means that they finish on a score of 39.
There's been a whole variety of horses and ponies competing here today at Hartpury. It's been great to see. There's no set type. Kids up to adults. inside the furs. Oh, very tidy turn there. Really going for it over those skinnies. And again, can she make the corner? Yeah. And she's really going for it back to this last. Ooh. And she takes a flyer. She's very pleased with that.
Well done, inside the time, Johnny and the Goldrick. And scoring for
This is already proved to be a very competitive class. And another one who's had many horses here today, Kylie Roddy. Today, at the moment, this round, she's riding Shearwater Bonaparte. They've been competing here since 8:30 this morning. It's been really well run. All credit to the organisers and all the volunteers that help make these events happen. Oh, that's unlucky. Let's just put him off a bit now. Just the last 3 down. Not had the most successful day, Kylie. She had a fall earlier on in the day as well. But it's all experience and it's a good learning curve. And there's always another day. Skinnies. 3 strides between them. On a slight curve, you can jump one on an angle. The line to the second corner is quite tricky. You just can make sure you don't lose that outside left shoulder.
Well, that was 12 show-jumping goals, 4 cross-country jumping goals, 13 time for Shearwater Bonaparte and Kylie Roddy. A very impressive score coming in for Natalie McGoldrick and Johnny. A style mark for them of just 4. And
So
that
Kylie
is the
Roddy
score they
with
stay
12
on.
show-jumping penalties, 4 cross-country and 13
They take a commanding
with a
lead
total of
in this Bailey's Horse Feeds Novice Jumping and Style Championship. And now in the arena we have Josh Moore and Funny Boy Fortuna.
Josh Moore now. Again, he also competed earlier in the 100.
Funny Boy Fortuna and Josh qualifying at Harriswood.
Oh, he did well to stay put there. Really went straight through that. He's carrying on, as he should. Very well set, come unseated. Just crush through the oxer. Well recovered by this young rider. First skinny down. but finishing in style very nicely over the finale fence. The careers in racing. And a sympathetic clap, but he did well. Did well to stay on.
Well, there was 8 show jumping faults, 4 cross-country jump faults, and 5 time for Funny Boy Fortuna and Josh Moore.
Out of the running, but I'm sure richer for the experience, that's for sure.
192 in the arena now. This is Emily Nicol and Annabelle Boomlander, qualified at West Wills. And a score in for Hardy Williams, she's on one part. 19.
Now we have 192. 192 is Emily C. Nicol riding a Boomlander. Nicely over the red and white opposite start, just taps the KBRS planks, but nothing happens. They stay up. It's tight. To the Oxa. She's taking a pull, she's getting a bit onward bound. Just steady, steady, steady. Over the gate and straight onto the cross country. This is tight. You can't get ahead of yourself because these jump for joys doesn't take much. Over the roller. Oh, she's cracking on. Oh, and she did well with that bounce to get underneath it. Oh, very nifty around the inside the furs. Again, she's just trying to take a check, just telling him to steady up, look at the corner, gets out of trouble. She gives him a little pat to say thank you, and then over the careers in racing. Here's Pricked, he obviously enjoyed himself.
Well, that was clear over all the fences.
Here we have Beth Norman riding well a mile high. Now Beth competed earlier in the 100.
Beth riding for William and Walker. Had a good day earlier on. And score for Funny Boy Fortuna and Josh Moore. Start off 90. And finish on 36, which is good enough for third place. Well, a mile high and Beth Norman.
If you're just tuning in, this is BETV. We're here at Hartpury College in Gloucestershire for the Jumping and Style Championships, sponsored by Bailey's Horsefeeds, rather. Jumping and Style, also known as Jazz. Qualifiers throughout January and February, culminating in these finals here at Hartpury today. Oh, where's she going? Nice bounce through the planks, round the furs, over the wall, heading to the corners. Jumping the first on a slight angle, whipping round to the second, where they take a stride out, I think. Oh, she's going for it. Again, lovely finish. Here's Pritt.
Well, another to go clear all the way and inside.
Here we have Tom Searle in the arena. Number 194. Riding Darren Lee Vivendi. Tom Searle
That goes into third place. Into the arena now.
trains out of Charlton Park in Wiltshire, former home of Polly Williamson.
194.
Tom as well, he's been here all day competing. He qualified at West Wilts. Oh, and he's had the second down the KBIS planks. Nice and steady through the show jumps because it's
Well,
not
this
timed.
competition is being live streamed. You can check that
And
live
the last two show jumps.
TV/jazz-jazz.
Now cracking on to the cross country.
So that is the live streaming address.
Along the line of triples. One stride, two stride. Over the roller. And in and out to the bounce. Safely round the first to the wall. Over the skinnies. Skinnies done, corners done, down to the last. So just that second fence down there for Tom Sell.
4 show jumping penalties.
Which is 4 show jumping penalties.
The jump 10 times before Gary Venby and Tom Sell.
Now we have Georgia King on Mojo the fourth.
With Peter Hollingsworth.
Very different horse to the one that's just left the arena. It's been amazing the variety that have been in here today. Everything from pony cobs to big warm bloods and everything in between.
Scoring for 1 mile higher Beth Norman, 17 star mark, and nothing added. They have a tie for style mark and total mark with Elton Johnson and Danielle Johnson. They're just fractionally quicker across the country, so further away from the optimum time. So Elton Johnson and Danielle Johnson retain their second place. 1 mile high Beth Norman going to third.
This is actually Daisy Bathe with Rencum Bombardier. Oh, just having a little reminder, the middle part of that triple. Oh, interesting, but in and out safely over the planks, inside the furs. Daisy is not hanging about. Now she's got the corners, she's got to make sure she's got her steering, and she hasn't. It was a little bit wayward. And she missed the first corner. So she's coming round again. See if she can get that shoulder this time. Cleanly over it this time. Still got the second one to do. She'll be disappointed with that, but she was maybe getting a bit of a hurry on. And nicely over the last.
Now, in the arena, we have number 197. This is Abigail Cottingham and Molly Chestnut. And they qualified at very far.
So as you've just heard, this is
And
number
a score for Gary Venby, Tom Searle, star mark for them of 18. They complete on 30.
Unfortunately, she had the first down. She's always galling having the first down. Oh, unlucky. So put in a last second stop, the second part of the bounce, and gravity took over. I think maybe they were just bounding on and maybe he didn't see it and he just thought, no thanks. But she is allowed to fall twice. So the question is, if she gets on, will she continue? I suspect she will, but we shall see. Let's see what she decides to do. She's still being timed. It's always a bit of a shock when you're merrily going round and then suddenly you're on the floor. Here she goes. He doesn't want to know about that. That's a bit naughty. He knew it was there this time. He's just decided he doesn't want to pick up. And quite rightly.
Abigail deciding to retire. Good to see she's on the worst way after that unseating.
So Abigail.
Score for Reading Bombardier and Daisy Ray 16, their start mark. So they complete on 42. Well, now in the arena we have number 198. This is Kirsty Camp. She's riding Escobar the third. Already seen there earlier on. They qualified at West.
So now in the arena we have Kirsty Cam with Escobar the third. And I'm joined here up in the commentary box by Jane Buchan from Bailey's Horse Feeds. Jane, what have you made of the competition so far?
Well, it's certainly been hot competition. There's been some really speedy rounds through the day, and it's been great to see a lot of good forward riding, because they need that for starting the season in a couple of weeks' time. So I think it's been really good preparation, and I know that it's been a good flowing course. I've heard from the judges how they were pleased how well it encouraged riders to ride in a good rhythm, and those that were able to maintain the rhythm round the course were the ones that were getting good times and clears, hopefully, but also they were picking up on the style marks. So it's certainly achieving what it sets out, which is to give the riders a training side to their competition at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
That was 4 shows on the clear, starting at 5 time left for the Kirsty Camp. Now in the arena, it's no social media all day, and Berlava Bayat. Fence 2 needs to be put up to lead the arena party. Could the arena party put up fence 2?
Oh, the arena patio being a little slow, going off to the KBIS fence, putting the planks back up before 199 can start. We're trying to pause for you while the Hartpury commentary is going on, because we understand you can hear that as well, so we don't want to talk above it.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Jane, as you said earlier, Bailey's have sponsored Jazz for 15 years. I mean, it's obviously an event you enjoy being involved with.
Yes, certainly. As I said, it ties in with our ethos of trying to help riders and horse owners learn about every aspect of horse care and training, and it's a good time of year to talk about fine-tuning your horse's diet, a time when potentially you can make changes and aim to get things right for the season ahead. But it also means we can make contact with riders at an early stage in the year, and hopefully keep in touch throughout their seasons, so that we can fine-tune things as the grass comes through and they start to get more turnout time. This one looks to be just having a little wayward there, just through that bounce. It's comes up quite quickly, and it's quite tight, I think, so she catches some of them out.
She was quite on one side, wasn't she, and caught the wing as well.
But it's nice to see this extra skinny put in here for the novices as well, so just a bit more of a challenge for them, which keeps them on their toes.
It's quite nice, isn't it, towards the end of the course? You've got the set of skinnies and the set of corners.
And then a good gallop to the last as well. So,
which has been jumping nicely all day.
Indeed.
Eight jumping penalties, 4 cross-country jump and 6 time there for Dorothy. Now in the arena we have number 200. This is Saffron Creswell with Cuff-Range Clover Z. They qualified here at Hartpury, the second of those two qualifiers. Ready to score in Escobar third, best he can, 21. The style mark they complete on a score of 30, which for the moment puts them into 5th place.
So, as mentioned, this is Saffron Cresswell. She has been here throughout the day doing other classes. She's a team gold medalist from the 2015 European Championships for ponies, and the highest place British rider in 2016 in individual 5th place. Qualified here at Hartpury earlier this month, finishing 4th, riding Cuffs-Grange Clover Z. Don't forget, if you have any feeding questions you want to put to Jane, you can tweet British Eventing using the hashtag Bailey's Jazz, JAS. Anything you want to tweet us? Jane will be able to answer. Oh dear.
What a shame.
What happened there, Jane? Did she just not get the line, do you think?
Yeah, I think it was just caught him out, and I think this was the pony that just had a little problem at the corners in the previous class, so might just be remembering that, yes.
Yeah, not the most comfortable of jumps.
Yeah, and she's just skipping that one. That's the one he had the problem at, that second one. So she's just calling it a day. I think that's a wise move.
Sometimes discretion is the better. Now Megan competed in the 100 earlier. Frank stayed up. Quite long reins, wondering if braking or steering might become an issue.
God, nimble pony.
Very much nimble pony. Around the outside of the fur though to the wall.
Ooh, little wobble there, but the pony was true.
Oh, that's unlucky. It's the pony seems to be one step ahead of him.
Well, that was 4 show jumping, 4 cross-country jump. Inside the time left, and Ellison Birchway Bay. Into the arena now. Jamie Saville. Jamie riding Knockmullen and Flyer. And they qualified at Hartpury 1.
Jamie competed earlier as well in the 100 on a different horse. That was Knockmullen Foxy. This is Knockmullen Flyer. Jane, we've seen all different types of horses here today, haven't we?
Yes, real cross section, and I think it's great to see so many different types actually coming into the sport now, because it just goes to show it up to a point it doesn't really matter. Correct training and good riding, you can enjoy the sport at any level with virtually any horse.
Absolutely.
Certainly, we find, we can find a feed for just about everything now, from the cob type to your top thoroughbreds.
And looking at this particular horse, I mean,
looks like he's naturally a fairly good doer, what we'd call a good doer, and probably needs a lower calorie diet, but still needs all the nutrients, so we can work that through with something like a feed balancer that provides all the essential nutrition but without the calories that he perhaps doesn't need.
Well, that was clear jumping, clear cross-country jump, 8th time, however, for Knockmullen Flyer and Jamie Saville. In the arena now, we have number 203, this is Sasha Good, riding Western King. Well, they qualified at very far. And we have a score for Birchway Bay and Ben as 28 their start mark. They complete on a score from 36. Good enough at the moment with any position.
like many in this class, Sasha also competed in the 100 earlier on, so she's been on this course before. So Jane, you have a whole range of different feeds for different disciplines or purposes, or just for different types?
Really different types of horses and their different requirements. Obviously, the more work they're doing, the harder they're working, the higher their nutritional requirements are. So you need to adapt the diet to fit their workload and keep their condition right, and help them support their work and their recovery.
Jumping 5 times was taking Sash good. Not long from there, 17 start. They complete on 25. Puts them into 5th place currently. And we now welcome into the arena number 204. This is Henrietta Borsey-Gummins again. She's riding Trinity Cavalier. They qualified at Solihull.
So a Solihull qualifier here, Henrietta Borsey-Gummins with Trinity Cavalier. And Jane, you were saying that feeding after competition is just as important as the feeding beforehand.
Yes, I mean it's sort of tradition to cut back feed when the horses are going to have a day off, or give them a bran mash, but actually we now know really that disrupting their diet like that, say for example with a bran mash, really isn't what the horse's gut wants. Disrupts the gut bacteria, but also, you know, if they've had a hard day, they need the nutrients that their diet is going to provide to actually help them recover, so replenish their reserves. So as long as they're going to get out of their stable and get a walkabout or go in the field, then there's absolutely no real reason to cut a feed down, particularly just because they're going to have a day off. Which, you know, this is where sort of modern thinking starts to come in a little bit more. And it can make all the difference.
It's funny, isn't it? Bran mash. It sounds like from another era almost.
It does in a way, and yet, you know, we all know that it smells yummy when you're making them, and it must be lovely. But actually, it's a shame that actually it probably isn't.
Well, that was clear over all the fences 4 times there, Henrietta Borsey-Gummins and Trinity Cavalier. We welcome Jordan Kavanagh into the arena. He's riding Extender. They qualified at Arena K for this Bailey's Horse Jumping and Style Championship. And the scoring for Western King and Sasha Good, 18 their start mark. So they complete on a score of 31, which currently puts them in the top 10 into 7th position.
We've seen Jordan Kavanagh before with his brow band and his orange stirrups.
It's actually good to see some guys actually in the arena. There's been a lot of girls today.
Yeah. Round and not as neat and tidy as his turnout. And it's important as well for horses, isn't it, to be able to get their heads down as well. If they've been, you know, at a competition, they've been in the lorry or standing.
Absolutely. It's very important from.
Oh, just
yes,
glanced out at that second skinny there. Coming round again.
Yeah, it's important for them to get their heads down to help their airways drain, especially if they've been, as you say, on the lorry a long time, long journeys. Stretch the muscles over their back. Oh no!
Oh, and again, he's just not taking.
Because that's a new addition into this class, so it's just caught him out.
That wasn't there before.
Right by the collecting ring as well.
Calling it a day.
We have a score for Trinity Cavalier and Henrietta Borsey-Gummins, start mark of 16. So they complete on a score of 2:06. And this combination, they qualified at both Hartpury and Westwood.
As you say, Jane, that second skinny is right by the collecting ring.
Just means they've got an added distraction, really, doesn't it?
Something else to factor in.
And I was going to say, Kate, one of the reasons probably that Bailey's has had such a long relationship with Jazz is because the team that run it, Andrew, Paul, Holly, they are just such good fun to work with, and they really are considerate. They are always thinking about making a good day for the competitors. So, you know, if something goes wrong, they'll always let them have a pop to finish the round on a good note, and they always try to accommodate as many as they can. And it's, you know, that I think has really sort of helped us stick with the series. It's just, you know, it's a fun team, and that makes a big difference.
Right, we must thank the organisers, all the volunteers that are involved with British eventing and all the events that happen throughout the year.
Yes,
without
definitely.
sponsors such as yourself, Bailey's Horse Feeds, event sponsors KBIS and Careers in Racing, we wouldn't be able to run such events. And yeah, a lot of behind the scenes work that goes on, accommodating times.
Clear over all the fences, 5 time there for the Ranger. And we now have number 230 in the arena. This is Tonabard's Coos Nightmare and Harriet Gilson.
So Jane, tell me, are there any anti-cough feeds out there?
Anti-cough feeds?
When they're in the stable in the winter?
Not as such. I think it's all about really your management then. I mean, obviously, if you think your horse is prone, but on the whole, one would tend to sort of try and keep dust levels down, regardless of you know, whether you think your horse is sensitive. Soaked hay or haylage, you're looking at your bedding, but then we'd look at perhaps damping feeds and perhaps going for cubes over mixes, but on the whole really, if your horse is on a good quality diet and is getting the vitamins, minerals and antioxidants to support the immune system, that's all going to help towards helping him fend off any nasties that may attack the respiratory system, and I think you'll find, you know, a lot of the supplements as well are antioxidants. It's about helping the immune system fight things.
As you say, feeding and stable management are part and parcel, aren't they? They go hand in hand.
Very much so, and we very often find that riders will pick the right feed, but actually if they don't feed it in the right way or the right amount, they perhaps don't get the results they need.
Always read the label.
Indeed. Surprisingly, the instructions on the back of the bag are there to be read, and they are actually right. We don't make it up. We don't overinflate the feeding rates just so that you feed more. We actually do it so that it's all carefully calculated for your horse's height, weight, body weight, workload, that sort of thing. And if you feed less, they could be missing out.
Looks like we're taking a break here for a course walk.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
You are watching BETV.
Non-heating Bailey's low-cal balancer provides essential nutrients without unwanted calories for ponies, good doers, and the laminitis prone. Its low starch, low sugar, low calorie formula supports strong hooves, a healthy immune system, coat shine, and muscle tone. Feed a healthy calorie-controlled diet with Bailey's low-cal balancer.
Bailey's Outshine combines omega oils from soya and linseed, which promote head-turning coat shine and condition, provide slow-release calories for controlled energy, improve stamina and support recovery, and all while helping you regulate starch and sugar in the diet. Let your horse shine from within with Bailey's Outshine High Oil Supplement.
Top riders feed Bailey's Performance Balancer so their horses get all the nutrients they need for outstanding muscle tone and top line, with the strength and power to perform, whatever the discipline. They see the benefits of optimum nutrition, which supports horses' stamina, well-being and recovery, so they leave nothing to chance. Optimize your horse's diet with Bailey's Performance Balancer.
Jumping in Style, or Jazz, is a winter competition held by British Eventing and sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds. It's an arena-based competition over both show jumps and timed cross-country fences, with both BE members and non-members allowed to compete. Riders pick up 4 penalties for knocking down a show jump or cross-country fence, and 1 penalty for every second they go over the time limit. Riders also pick up 4 penalties for a refusal or run out at a fence, then 8.
Also known as Jazz. Currently in the arena, it's number 207, Southerly Roberts, who's had quite a few here today, riding Wurlitzer 1. Southerly Roberts, she was a runner-up in the 2016 Open Jazz Championships on Tinks. And she has one other horse here today.
Southerly's a seasoned jazz campaigner and has also brought quite a lot of her young horses through the jump training system. That was a bit naughty. Positive riding got him through that.
Bit of vocalness.
Yeah. Oh, scooted around the corner as well. What a shame.
The voice you're hearing is of Jane Buchan, marketing manager for Bailey's Horse Feeds. And again at that corner.
Naughty. Perhaps just a bit green there.
And just jumps the wall just to finish on a good note. It's interesting that even the riders that have had many rounds here today also had problems on the corners.
Well, now in the arena, EFOBs with 5 Indian Art, and this combination third in the 100 Open, final Majesty, number 208, and they qualified here at Hartpury College.
Okay. I'm joined now in the commentary box by Sasha Good. Sasha rode earlier in this class, Western King. How did you get on, Sasha?
I had 2 poles down in the show jumping part, but he's jumped a lot better in this class than he has through the rest of the weekend.
So how do you feel about it? Disappointed? Or?
I'm quite pleased with my round. I don't think it's the best on paper, but he jumped really well and it was unlucky. So.
Well, I mean, I think that's great. You know, unlucky and got to remember the good bits.
Yeah, so he gave me a really good feel the whole way round.
What did you think of the course?
I think it's a testing course, but it is a championship. I rode the 100 and I found this quite a lot harder with like the corners after the skinny dog leg. So, but it rode quite nicely.
Yeah, with that extra skinny in, and as Jane pointed out, it's right next to the collecting ring as well.
Yeah, I think it's quite easy for them to get distracted by the people at the gate when they come into the first one. And I know when I rode into the second one, Kings was slightly looking at the gate and all the horses and people.
Yeah, and then, as you say, those two corners come up quite quickly, don't they?
Yeah, especially once you're in, it's quite hard to get the right line, and the second one is just there pretty much straight away.
Well, that was 4 show jumping penalties, 4 cross-country jumping penalties, and 7 time for EPOS. Into the arena now we have Tara Williams. She's riding Zeitgeist, and they qualified here at Hartpury 1.
As we mentioned earlier, there are 16 fences here today. There's 7 show jumps and 9 cross-country style fences. In the arena now is Tara Williams on Zeitgeist. Just finishing the show jumping phase. I'm joined by Sasha Good, who competed in this class earlier. Sasha, the show jumping's not timed, and that obviously makes a difference how you ride it, does it?
Yeah, it does. You have more time to regroup and, gather.
And did, when you walked the course, were there any surprises when you actually rode it, or were there any rider frighteners out there that you were worried about that were actually okay?
I thought the 13A and B was quite tough, especially as it's followed by the corners, but it rode a lot better. But just 13 is quite skinny, but it rode nicely.
There's some people are jumping on a little bit of an angle and then coming round to get straighter to the second part.
Yeah, I guess it depends on
Ooh,
your horse.
Yeah.
And what it's going to do. I took a different line to try and get straighter for the B element, so I came round 10, which no one's really done. But it worked for King. So.
Well, you know your own horse.
Yeah.
So, second attempt for Tara, and she's over the corner. And down to the last. It's quite inviting, that last finale fence, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as imposing as the rest of the course. It doesn't look as big.
Well, there was 8 show jumping penalties, 4 cross-country jumping penalties, and 34 time there for Zeitgeist and Tara Williams. In the arena now, we are joined by number 210, Queen Chamberlain. She's riding Edge Ignite, and they qualified at Hartpury 2. And the score in for EPOS and Indian Art, 15. The Star, they completed on a score of 30, which puts them in 8th position currently.
So, Sasha, where did you qualify for this championships?
I qualified at Bury Farm. We were 6th, so just about qualified.
And while you're going round, while you're tackling all these jumps, how much are you thinking about your style?
In the 100, I was thinking more about my style, but because I'm more comfortable at that height. But when I came in here, I was a bit like, this is quite big. So it was more about getting round than
surviving.
Yeah, but yeah, he was a really good boy.
Be interesting to see your style marks in comparison to your 100 and your novice.
Yeah, I got 18 style for this, and I think I got it in the 100 as well. But I didn't, because I was thinking so much about style, I was more riding backwards to be a bit pretty, and it wasn't as effective as riding forwards and not really caring about the style as much.
I think effective riding, we always think, yeah, let's try and look nice. Actually, riding effectively is the best way, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of people come in, and because they're thinking about style, going really backwards, and it's often a lot better when you go into the cross-country bit where you're thinking the time's really tight. And you're not like, oh, I don't have to worry about time, and the style's really important.
Well, that was clear show jumping. Full cross-country jumper, just the one time there for Louise Chamberlain. Star marking for Zeitgeist and Tara Williams of 25. And we are now joined by Stephanie Cole. Stephanie is riding spot on finale. Number 211. And they qualified at Arena UK.
Are there any other riders here that you know, that you've seen around?
I know Southerly Roberts. She's given me quite a lot of advice while I've seen her around, because she's very good at it, I think.
What sort of advice did she give you?
Just anything really, where to turn, like when I've walked courses and been worried about striding, and she's always given advice on the way. And yeah, so we've made friends with her through coming to the jump trainings and jazzes and seeing her around.
Well, it's nice, isn't it, that people help each other out, and it's always good to get advice.
Yeah, it's really good. It helps you learn quite a lot, because obviously other competitors know more than you or less than you, but everyone can always help.
It's always worth asking.
Yeah, and everyone's quite friendly. Like the majority of riders are really friendly and come up and have a chat anyway. So.
How beneficial do you find the jazz competitions when preparing for the BE season?
I find it very useful because it's obviously got technical lines, so you can work on like maybe seeing what the issue is. And on my score sheet that I got back from the 100, it just said what I did good and like some stuff to improve on that is quite helpful, because then I can look at it and think, actually, this is what I need to do.
Well, that was clean show jumping, 4 cross-country jumping and 6 time there. Spot on finale and Stephanie Faulkner. Scoring for Edge of Night and Louise Chamberlain, 15 a star. So they complete on a score of 20. That, in fact, puts them in 5th position at the moment. And we welcome into the arena Holly Fletcher. Holly riding Motorborough Katie. Number 212, and they qualified at 80.
So this is Molly Fletcher. She won with this horse both the B90 and the B100 Jazz Championships last year. The horse is Motorborough Katie. She qualified at Aintree at the start of February, finishing second. So she's definitely one to watch. And as you were saying, Sasha, it's something great, isn't it, during the winter to have something training to focus you. And
yeah, it's really good because there isn't much to do through the winter unless you start doing BS or BD usually, so it's quite a good thing to be able to come out and do.
Oh, well, that is really surprising. We weren't expecting that at the roller. Just probably a bit shocked. Just asking if she wants to get back on. She's patting her horse. Don't know whether he just got his striding wrong into that, whether he just didn't pick up.
Yeah, it looked like he just got his striding a bit wrong and just couldn't quite work out what to do. I watched his B100 round in this, and this round's a lot better, I'd say. It was a lot. She seemed a lot more attacking, and the pony was jumping really nicely.
Right, well, it just goes to show, champion one day, on the floor the next. You never know. That's the first time I've seen a problem with that roller today. And she's going around again. There we go.
Well, good to see Kate
She's retiring.
back off board, otherwise nowhere, and just decided to retire after that unseating. Number 213 joins us now. This is Hannah Gadras. She's riding with Holroyd's soon the third.
So that was a shame for Molly Fletcher.
They qualified Hartpury
I did put the kiss of death on it, saying she was one to watch.
And a score in for Stephanie Faulkner and spot on finale 19. Their start mark, they completed a score of 29 at the moment for 9th place.
Now, as she's coming into the filler, that fourth fence was on the ground, she came into that. She'd already knocked the first two down. That filler was already down. So now the skinnies and the corners to come. I'd say the second half was probably better than the first, do you think, that round?
Yeah, definitely. It's always a bit off-putting when you have the first fence down. So she did well to keep it together, really.
Cross-country jumping penalties at 5 times there, Hannah Gadras and Monsoon. Ringwood Gold Dust in the arena now. Owned by Natalie Woodford, ridden by Kylie Roddy. And they qualified at both Wellington and Solihull.
So back in the arena we have Kylie Roddy, runner-up in the Novice Jazz Championships in 2016 here with SRS Can Do. Today she's riding Ringwood Gold Dust. She's got another 2 horses here today. She was at the start of the class on Shearwater Bonaparte, and she was also in the 100 earlier. What's your first event of the season, Sasha?
I'm doing Aston 100, so I'm quite excited. I'm against some big names though, so
Aston's only a couple of weeks away, isn't it?
yeah, I was quite shocked when I actually looked at how close it is. It's March the 4th, so don't have long.
Well, thanks to Jazz, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds, you've had the perfect preparation.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good skiing because I haven't had a chance to go cross-country schooling yet, but this is, you know, as good as you get to do the cross-country and the technical lines.
Yeah, it really is valuable.
Well, that was clear over all the fences. 3 time there for England gold dust and Kylie Roddy. 12 of 21 for Hannah Andrews and Monsuzi, then complete on a score of 42. And we welcome back into the arena Daniela Johnston. She's riding her second ride in this competition. This is Cavalier Road. And they qualified at Bishop Burton.
If you're just joining us here at BETV, we're here at Hartpury College in Gloucestershire for the Jumping and Style Championship, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds. This is the novice class. We're covering the novice in the Novice Open this evening. We're 2/3 of the way through, currently with Daniela Johnston, Cavalier Road. Daniela was another rider who's also been round earlier in the 100. Just had the giraffes down, which is towards the end of the show jumping section, which isn't timed. And now she's moving into the cross country, which is timed. I'm joined by Sasha Good, who competed in this class earlier on. What do you think so far, Sasha, of this round? What do you think of her lines?
I think she's good into the bounce. That's quite a tight turn. I was quite nervous, along with other riders, about the bounce.
And she's just gone inside the furs there to the wall.
Yeah, that's also tight. I think the time's really hard to get, especially in the novice.
Oh dear. Took umbrage to that corner. Got to get quite straight to those corners, haven't you?
Yeah, it's difficult because you have to obviously come from those skinnies and think about, you don't want to jump too much to the inside because otherwise it's impossible to get to the second one. But then if you jump them straight, it's quite easy to run out left. The first one's a lot wider than the second one, so you do need to get a better positioning to it.
Well, that was 4 show jumping penalties there. 4 cross-country jumping at 26 time for Cavalier Road, Daniela Johnston. 2:16 next to jump. It's James Foxon with Rachel Sargent and Tamarique Mann second. They qualified for this Bailey's Horse Feeds, Firearm and Keystone. And a score for Kylie Roddy with Madeline Woodland's Ringwood Gold Dust 16 star. They finished on a total score of 90, and that is good enough at the moment for 5th position.
Dear, what do you think's happened there, Sasha?
I'm not 100% sure. It's
just a bit flat, do you think?
Yeah, both times coming down from fence 3 to 4, I had fence 4 down. I think the distance rides a bit funny, depending on how you jump in. If you get a good jump in, it rides nicely, but both times I got a funny stride down there, and I've seen quite a few people do the same.
Yeah, sometimes if you get one down,
yeah,
kind of all starts to.
Yeah, fence 5 also comes up very fast, and it's off quite a tight turn, so.
Here we go, into the skinnies. to the corners. And racing to the careers and racing finale.
He was very forwards.
Well, that was 8 showtime penalties and clear cross-country jumping 3 times. James Thompson and tambourine man second. The score for Cavalier Road, Danielle Johnson, star mark for them of 24. And we now welcome Georgina Horsley-Gubbins with Henrietta Horsley-Gubbins, Ella's Melody into the arena. This is number 217, and Ella's Melody qualified here at Hartpury 2.
This looks like a very bright little pony.
Yeah, she's riding it nicely. It's got a good spot to everything so far.
Ears forward.
Yeah, it just looks
Good
like
rhythm.
it wants to be doing it. I think the worst thing is when you have a horse that doesn't take you and doesn't really want to do it. As long as they're taking you, you've kind of got something if you hit the wrong place.
Yeah, this pony looks very can-do, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks very up for it.
Inside the furs. Right, see how she gets on at the skinnies. Oh, that was lovely.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
Lovely over those skinnies and corners. Super round. Well deserved pat.
Well, that was clear over all the fences 2 times there for Ella's Melody and Georgina Horsley-Gubbins. Amy Louise Harris next to jump. She's riding Bachelor Boy, number 219. And Bachelor Boy and Amy Harris, they qualified here at Hartpury.
Very different looking horse to the last in the arena now. Unfortunately had the K-bis planks down, which have caught so many out today. Why do you think so many people have had the first 2 down, Sasha?
I think if you don't ride forwards enough, perhaps because you're thinking about style, the striding's quite difficult to get to fence to.
Is it quite long or?
I found it quite long, but I am on a pony. But I think that one found it short, but it's quite forwards and looks quite like it's quite a decent sized horse.
That's a tight turn for a horse.
Yeah, it is. I struggled on a pony, but I've seen quite a lot of people manage it.
And I suppose if more people do it, more people are spurred on to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the timing is so difficult. But I think that last pony showed that it's more important for a rhythm because it didn't go flat out.
No, and
but it's got a quicker time than quite a lot of them.
I think you're right. That last pony really showed if you just get a good rhythm and you land travelling away from the fence.
Yeah, I think it's when you hit troubles with timing, it's when you kick on and then stop and kick and stop.
Yeah, it's deceptive, isn't it? You think.
I think they're going really fast, but they're not.
They complete their ball on a score of 12. That goes into second place. Still leading the way is Johnny
We still have with us Jane Buchan, the marketing manager for Bailey's Horse Feeds. And if you want to tweet any questions. Thank you, Sasha. Sasha's now leaving. Thank you for joining us. I'm rejoined again by Jane. If you have any questions feeding-wise you'd like to tweet to us, please tweet British Eventing #Bailey'sJazz. Tidily through the bounce, inside or outside the inside the furs, to the wall and then round to these skinnies. And now kicking on towards the final inviting finale fence, Careers and Racing. Beautiful jump. Victoria Wilson is completing her round. Unfortunately, she's just had the Cabus planks down, the second again. Jane from Bailey's Horse Feeds is going to tell us about a question British Eventing has been tweeted.
Yes, Julia has tweeted and asks, are there any problems with feeding linseed? How much and in what form would you feed? No, there's not really any problems with feeding linseed. We would always recommend that you add that sort of thing to a diet that is already correctly balanced, so making sure you're already feeding the recommended amount of a mixed cube or balancer, and then look to something like that for potentially additional slow release calories, or just to put that little bit of extra shine on the coat. She asks what form. There are lots of different supplements available now, which makes life a little bit easier from the old days when you used to have to boil it on the stove for hours on end, and you can get it micronized or ground or whatever. But we'd certainly recommend one of the supplements that has been thought through, where you get a balance of different oil sources. Omega-3s and omega-6s are the key fatty acids that we're looking at, and also has antioxidant support to help the body utilise those oils and make the most of them, and then you tend to get a better result.
For show jumping penalties, clear cross-country jump, 2-time Tokyo, Victoria Wilson. The score combines Royal over and Jessica Ray 10, the star bar 6 cross-country time, so they completed a score of 60. Goes into 4th position. And we now see Sophie Rushton, Royal 7, number 221. And they qualified at both Hartpury and Solihull.
So Jane, talking about linseed, it comes in various forms, does it?
Well, yes. As I say, you can buy it sort of ground or micronized, but we include it in some of our feeds. It's a useful source of slow release oil energy and a certain element of protein for muscle build. But we would, as I say, we produce a supplement called Outshine, which has a blend of oils from soya and linseed, and those extra antioxidants to help the body use it, because the more oil you put into the diet, the more antioxidants are produced during metabolism, so the more you need to put in the diet to help the body utilise it. And it depends a little bit why you're thinking of using something like linseed. If it's just coat shine, you're just popping a little bit extra in on top of what you're feeding, that's fairly easy. But if you actually want significant weight gain, it probably is worthwhile turning to one of the newer supplements to get the extras to complete the package, really. And you can feed a reasonable amount of calories in quite a small volume, which is really good for the horse, because you need to keep your meal size down and not overload their little rugby ball stomach, so that they can make the most of what they eat. It looked like a good speedy round there while I was chatting.
Yeah, it had number 6 down, the penultimate show jump.
Well, that was
But she seems pretty pleased.
just the one cross-country time penalty for Sophie Rushton and Hooray Henry in second. Don't you know, Victoria Wilson, a star mark for them at 13, sees them complete on 19, goes into 8th position. And we now welcome into the arena number 222. This is Jess Telford. She's riding around Penn Hills Albert Hall. Penn Hills Albert Hall, and Jess qualified for the Bailey's Horse Feeds jumping in style final at Solihull.
Great, we've got a couple more feeding questions come in. Grace asks, what sort of feed would you recommend for a 4-year-old you're just starting to back? I think it does depend an awful lot on the individual, really, and their temperament, and whether they're naturally they need any extra condition, or they naturally maintain their weight quite easily. But certainly don't forget, if you have got a young horse who's starting to back them, you are then starting to put quite a lot more pressure on them, so they certainly need the quality protein in their diet, because they're going to start asking their muscles to do more and very different work. So look towards a good quality feed or balancer, and follow the recommendations. If they're a bit sharp, go for cubes over mixes, go for slow release energy sources like oil and fibre, rather perhaps than oat-based competition mixes, clearly. But it's the sort of thing we'd certainly recommend you give us a call or talk to us individually about your own horse, so that we can get it right, because there's so many products that would suit. It's just making sure you get the right one.
Well, that was 8 show jumping penalties, 8 cross-country jumping penalties, and 9 time there. Penn Hills Albert Hall and Jess Telford. Into the arena comes Kira Hennigan, Lisa Hennigan, Mr. Amos Brett. 223 there in this section, and they qualified at West Wilts. And a star mark in for Hooray Henry in second, and Sophie Rushton at 20, sees them complete on a score of 25. Top 10, to get into that top 10 you need to be on a score of less than 20. And currently the top 3 that we be required for prize giving on horses would be Chippy Johnny and Anthony Goldrick, Georgina Wolski Govington and Bachelor Boy and Amy Harris.
We're here at the Jumping and Style Championships at Hartpury in Gloucestershire, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds, and I am joined by Jane Buchan, Marketing Manager at Bailey's, who's answering any questions you might have that you want to tweet to us at British Eventing #Bailey'sJazz, that's Bailey's JAS.
Yes, and I've got another one here from Jemima, who asks, can the type of feed that you're feeding a pony help or hinder their fitness work? And I would certainly say, in theory, most certainly yes. If you look at the feeds, they are all developed to suit the different workloads. So you'll get, generally what we'll call horse and pony mixes and cubes, and they are actually, the nutrients within them are designed only for the lighter workloads. So if you're trying to get a horse competition fit on a feed that's actually only designed to give the nutrients for a lighter workload, you can find that they're struggling, not perhaps building the muscle that you need, and perhaps not being able to maintain their stamina and their recovery. So the answer most definitely is yes. And we'll carry on with that one in the next horse, because there's quite a lot to talk about.
Into the arena now comes Alexandra Dance with You've Got to Be Joking, number 224. They qualified at West Wales. And score for Penalty Hall and Jess Telford, 25, the star mark. They complete on a score of 50.
Alex, this is a West Wales qualifier. Alexandra Dance with You've Got to Be Joking.
That's a great name.
Now, Jane, you were continuing.
I was saying, yes, indeed. So we'll formulate a feed that for the different workloads. So it's worth thinking. Oh, that's a shame. I think that giraffe has been counting quite a few of them out.
And he really did think You've Got to Be Joking.
Yes.
Stopped in the middle of it. And now has quite a look on his face.
Those wavy planks, they do catch the eye a little. I think they're just a bit confusing, whether they're zebra stripes or giraffes, and sometimes I just don't always judge them correctly.
It's a tight turn as well from the previous fence, and she was able to give a wider line that time.
He's back in his stride.
So you were saying?
Yeah, so we'll formulate the feeds for the different workloads. So some riders choose to they'll start their early fitting work on a very basic sort of feed, and then gradually switch to something that's designed for the higher workloads as they move on up through. And it's about the vitamins and minerals and the antioxidants. It's also about the protein and the quality of the protein that's in the diet to help you build that muscle. One thing that's worth having a look at for Jemima and for Grace is to actually go to the Bailey's website. We've got a new little tool on there called the Feed Finder, where you work through answering a few questions about your horse's age, workload, height, body weight, that sort of thing, the condition you think they're in, and you should actually get a fairly good, accurate feed recommendation at the end of it. Just be worth going and have a look. We'd quite enjoy to hear what your feedback is as well, because it's a new little innovation.
I love things like that.
Yeah, it's good.
This is
combination qualified at Keesley.
This is Daisy's second horse into the arena for this class. She was in here earlier on Rentham Bombardier, and now she's on Pumpkin Pie the second. Yes, getting back to your feed finder, Jane, I think things like that are really useful, aren't they? Because they give you a starting point.
They do. We designed it to sort of, give you a chance to get some guidance when it's sort of, not a time when you can particularly pick up the phone and ring us, just so you've feel that you can perhaps go into the feed store with just a bit more confidence about what you're looking for. There's also a tool there to work out exactly how much to feed as well. Nothing replaces, personal tailored advice sometimes. Some horses, are very unique and very different, but it's a good starting point, and we hope that people will, find it gives a bit more confidence when they go out to decide what they need to feed if they feel that they need a change. This one's doing some nippy turns there.
This means business.
Oh, that was a shame.
Oh dear. Just wasn't expecting that second skinny. I just thought, no thank you.
Yeah.
Just coming round again.
I think you've just got to get a good line to get the distance. If you're not quite there on the right stride, that's their chance.
It's funny, these questions come towards the end of the course, the skinnies and the corners, but
still catching them out, even though they're in the stride.
Just shows you can't relax. There's no switch off fences at this level.
Well, that was a clear show jumping. 4 cross-country jumping penalties, 24 time there on Daisy Bay, Pumpkin Pie the second. Finnegan's Gold and Liz Bradley next to go underway, 2-2-6. And Finnegan's Gold and Liz, they qualified at Ocean Burton. Starmark for You've Got to Be Joking and Alexandra Garson, 26, C7, completing a score of 49.
So, Jane, as a competitor yourself, have you ever been tempted by jazz?
I have, to be fair. I've competed 2 or 3 times in jazz. I didn't come out this year. There wasn't, because I live in East Anglia, actually, it's quite difficult to find the venues close enough, really. And I just found it a little bit difficult to fit it into my schedule. But I've always enjoyed it, and I did qualify for the final a couple of years ago, but it was the first time it was here at Hartpury, and I felt I couldn't multitask as sponsor and rider. When it was, a fresh competition, we were organising a demo on the Saturday night for those that were staying over. So work overruled on that, but it is definitely a good one to get, because my horse is quite spooky. So actually, it's quite good for him, because it's all these fences that are quite an eyeful, and it just gets him going a little bit.
I think that would have required a lot of brain space, being sponsor and competitor.
That's it, and I take my competing very seriously, as I'm sure so many of us do, and it's just too stressful trying to combine the two. You like to think you can do all things all the time, but it, really it doesn't always work.
No, there's multitasking and multitasking.
Yeah.
Well, looking a few issues with these corners, but got there in the end. Down to the last.
Well, that was 4 show jumping and 4 cross-country jumping penalties, 18 time there. Finnegan's Gold and Elise Bradley. We welcome into the arena now Puccini the second and Saskia Davis. And they qualified at Hartpury, first of those 2 fixtures. And a star mark in for Pumpkin Pie the second and Daisy Bay of 21. So they completed a score of 49.
So we're nearing the end of this class now. This is the third last to go. Saskia Davis on Puccini the second. She qualified here at Hartpury. Unfortunately, she had the first fence down. And those pesky giraffes. We do see those giraffes late. And now into the timed cross-country section. It's amazing, isn't it, Jane, that this course, I mean, obviously the course changes for the championship, but the qualifying course, it's like a travelling circus. It gets picked up and taken from venue to venue.
Yes, it's amazing, and like I say, they're always so accommodating and such a fun team to work with. And whenever we're at the finals, we always roll up our sleeves as well. We're often ferrying score sheets backwards and forwards, or today we're actually not out with a poo picker, but occasionally we're even doing that as well. But it's great to, you know, really feel part of something. You know, you're not just putting the money up and then standing back. It's great to be, you know, then you get a real feel for it and get down with the competitors. It's good fun.
And places like this, they can come and talk to you, can't they, and ask questions.
Indeed, and actually this weekend we've had a lot of chats. It's been good fun. And it's well worth it while we're here, for sure. Pick our brains. And again, if there's any more questions, keep tweeting.
British Eventing, hashtag Bailey's Jazz. Regular Aintree qualifiers. That's pretty much, that's a journey to here.
17 in Philippines gold and Louise Bradley. So they complete on a score of 43.
That's the first time I've seen that one down, actually. It's quite inviting, that first cross-country fence.
I think it just, because you then got to the choice to make quite a tight turn, and if you're turning in the air, sometimes you just unbalance the horse and just catch that rail.
Outside the first to the wall.
Yes, I haven't had a chance to walk the course. I normally have a walk and check out the distances and the angles. Try and do that in the break this time, once we've done the prize giving, which we're doing as slickly as we can every time, because there are so many competitors to get through today.
It's definitely been a well-oiled machine.
Indeed.
I think they started at just after 8 this morning. Hats off to all the workers here. As our final competitor begins her round, Jane's going to answer another tweet.
Yes, Evie has tweeted, what would you recommend to feed a fussy athletic Connemara? He could do with putting on some weight.
229.
I think with any horse that's fussy, particularly if they need to gain weight as well. Perhaps they haven't put on the sort of condition you're looking for, and they're fussy. I think it's trying to find out why they're being fussy, whether it is just a taste issue, or whether it's there's underlying issues. They're perhaps a bit stressy, and obviously just slightly dicey through the bouts there, but went well. Whether they potentially might be a little bit uncomfortable in their guts, and it's worth almost then by default treating them as if they potentially could have gastric ulcers, which means your approach is to go for lower starch diets, steering away from cereal-based feeds and going for the oil and fibre-based feeds, which should then make them feel more comfortable and gain their appetite back.
Well, that was clear over all the fences just the one time there. 4 moving boy and Spire Woodward.
So that was our final horse through. If you want to stay tuned, we'll be back after these messages.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
You are watching BETV.
Non-heating Bailey's low-cal balancer provides essential nutrients without unwanted calories. For ponies, good doers, and the laminitis prone. Its low starch, low sugar, low calorie formula supports strong hooves, a healthy immune system, coat shine, and muscle tone. Feed a healthy, calorie-controlled diet with Bailey's low-cal balancer.
Bailey's Outshine combines omega oils from soya and linseed, which promote head-turning coat shine and condition, provide slow-release calories for controlled energy, improve stamina and support recovery, and all while helping you regulate starch and sugar in the diet. Let your horse shine from within with Bailey's Outshine High Oil Supplement.
Well, those results now in for this Bailey's Horse Novice Jumping Style Championship. Players have 8 who's taken a very
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
Victoria Wilson and Don't You Know also on a score of 19, but a more favourable style mark for them. Sees them placed higher. In 7th place, Annabelle Boomlander and Emily Nicol. They finish on 18. In 6th place, on a score of 17, it's Beth Norman with William and Lorna Walker's 12 Mile High. Also on 17, but ahead because they were closer to the optimum time, it's Daniela Johnston with Elton John the second. In 4th place, Pennines Royale Clover and Jessica Ray. They finish on 16. In 3rd place now, these top 3 will be requiring, goodness, it's been a long day, on their horses. This, in 3rd place, Amy Harris with Bachelor Boy on a score of 15. In 2nd place, runner-up Georgina Horsley-Gubbins with Henrietta Horsley-Gubbins, Ella's Melody. They're on a score of 12, and way out in front, it's Natalie McGoldrick and Tricky Johnny. They win on a style mark of 4. So a double win today for Natalie McGoldrick and Tricky Johnny, and we'll have that prize giving very shortly.
Welcome back to BETV. We're at Hartpury College in Gloucestershire. We've just completed the Jumping and Style Championships final in the novice, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds, which was won by Natalie McGoldrick and Tricky Johnny by some margin. Just, I think, final penalty score of 4. She was 3rd to go in the class and clearly set the pace. We're about to have prize giving with Bailey's, the sponsors, who are also sponsoring our live stream today, so please stay tuned, because after this, the completion of this prize giving, we have the Novice Open, which is a very competitive class of 25 riders. The Jazz course is 16 jumps in this arena, which is a 40 by 70. Here at Hartpury, there are 16 fences, 7 show jumps, 9 cross-country style fences. Starting with red, white and blue oxer, going into the KBIS planks, which have caught quite a few people out today. Turn, 4-stride double, and then quite a tight left turn to a giraffe-looking fence, which is on the left-hand corner of your screen. That's caught a few out as well, because it's quite a tight turn. And then round the corner, upright, 3 strides to a gate, and then a dogleg right to the first cross-country fence.
Well, we now have our prize winners entering the arena. Tricky Johnny and Natalie McGoldrick out in front, with Ella's Melody, Georgina Horsley-Gubbins in 2nd, and just behind them, Bachelor Boy and Amy Harris. Then 4th to 10th places on foot. So Natalie McGoldrick has won 2 runs today with Tricky Johnny. Lovely Bailey's sponsored rugs, Bailey's Horse Feeds. We are really indebted to them for their continued support. They were here sponsoring the Bailey's jump training competition yesterday. So it's been a fabulous weekend, as well as having the lecture demo on Friday night with Emily and Mary King. So Tricky Johnny, Natalie McGoldrick, our winners. In second place, Ella's Melody and Georgina Horsley-Gubbins. In third, Bachelor Boy and Amy Harris, just being presented with their prize now by Jane Buchan from Bailey's Horse Feeds.
That's Jane from Bailey's. Next to number 219, handing out the rosette. She's been joining me on the commentary, answering your feed questions.
In fourth place, Pennines Royale Clover, Jessica Ray. Fifth goes to Daniela Johnston and Elton John second. In sixth place, it's Wellerwan High and Beth Norman. Seventh to Animal Boomlander and Emily Nicol. In 8th place, Don't You Know, and Victoria Wilson. 9th goes to Kylie Roddy and Ringwood Gold Dust. And in 10th place, it's Edge of Night and Louise Chamberlain. Well, they are our prize winners. Huge congratulations to all of you. And Jane now encouraging, I think, Tricky Johnny, Natalie McGoldrick to lead on.
McGoldrick leads the lap of honour.
So congratulations to our winners.
Followed by Georgina Horsley-Gubbins and Amy Louise Harris.
Well, photographs now going to be taken, and any competitors wishing to walk the course, I think it's now ready. I hope it is, because you're already ready.
Jazz champions have been taking away generous prizes, not only from Bailey's, where all the winners have had very smart Thermotex rugs, but they've had up to £500 in training vouchers from BE to redeem against the top quality coaching. Alongside this, the top 3 in the BE 90 and 100 Jazz championships automatically qualify for the new BE Arena Eventing Championship. This is taking place at Aston Walls on the 11th of March. There have been qualifiers throughout January and February for this championships. Riders have to qualify. compete here today. Various venues around the country. But both BE members and non-members are able to compete. And it gives people a fantastic training opportunity throughout the winter to get them ready for the season, which starts just a few short weeks away. We must thank our sponsors for today, not only for the live streaming, but also sponsoring the championships, Bailey's Horse Feeds, and our fence sponsors, KBIS and Careers in Racing. KBIS have sponsored the second fence, which is the planks, which has caught quite a few people out over the last couple of classes from the 90 through. It's their 5th year as a fence sponsor. KBIS are also an associate sponsor to BE's training and education programme, as well as the title sponsor of the Young Horse Championships and Series. KBIS are the UK's leading independent horse insurance specialist with over 25 years of experience. They offer a range of policies for the leisure horse to high-value sports horses. KBIS's product range also includes horsebox and trailer insurance, property insurance, standalone personal accident cover, as well as specialist liability insurance. Members of British Eventing are entitled to exclusive discounts when taking out a policy with KBIS. The details of these discounts can be found on the BE members' benefits sites. But any further details you want on KBIS, please visit kbis.co.uk. Follow them on Twitter and Facebook. And our other fence sponsor today is the Finale Fence, which is the very inviting Careers in Racing fence. It's their 3rd year as fence sponsor. Careers in Racing are responsible for implementing recruitment, training, education and community initiatives for the horse racing industry. They've been supporting the employment and career development within the equestrian industry for several years. And they boast a wealth of experience in all areas of employment, from recruitment advice to recognition for those already working in the industry. You can find out more at careersinracing.com. Riders are just currently walking the course for the final class of the day, the Open Novice. We'll be back after this break.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
You are watching BETV.
Non-heating Bailey's low-cal balancer provides essential nutrients without unwanted calories for ponies, good doers, and the Laminitis Prone. Its low starch, low sugar, low calorie formula supports strong hooves, a healthy immune system, coat shine, and muscle tone. Feed a healthy, calorie-controlled diet with Bailey's low-cal balancer.
Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
Welcome back to BETV. We're here at Hartpury for the final class of the day, the Open Novice Championship, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds for the Jazz finale. This is Alicia Hawker on Hijinks 4. Just going over the skinnies now, she's got the corners to do. It's Novice Open, oh, just had that corner down. The Novice Open is a height of 1.20 meters.
In the arena now, Francesca Bailey, number 232. They qualify at very far. The bell has gone.
Oh, just checking the bell's gone. This is Francesca Bailey. Unfortunately, she's had the first down. Just rode the poles in that fourth, but they stayed up. They can take their time over the show jumping because it's only the cross-country phase that's timed. After this white gate, she's entering the first of the cross-country fences for a right-hand turn to the triple along the wall. One stride and then a two stride. You can't get too long and flat because they soon fall down. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by event organiser Holly Farr. Holly, how has it gone today for you?
Well, I've been in the office handing out numbers, so I don't see as much as you guys see, but from my end it's been great.
So I guess for you, the hard work is in the build-up.
Yeah, I do the admin.
That second skinny's gone.
All the entries, the timings. I'm quite bossy, so Andrew and Paul leave me to it.
Just coming to the last, the Grizz and Racing finale fence.
Well, that was 4 jumping penalties, 4 cross-country jumping penalties, and 8 time for Water Valley Lucky Guy and Francesca Bailey. And a score for Hijinks fourth and Alicia Hawker, 24, their style mark. That means they complete on a score of 39. Into the arena now, it's James Foxton and Rachel Sargent, Hartpury College, second. They qualified at Kisa.
And this is a rider we've seen before, James Foxton, Kiso qualifier. Holly, for you, on the actual day itself, what's the sort of problems or challenges that present themselves to you?
It's mainly helping people out. A lot of them, well, they've all been to the qualifiers, but the rules are the same. But the scores seem to be a bit closer at the final because obviously all very good. So we have to explain if scores are tied, how we differentiate who is higher than the other one. and it's quite competitive. A lot of competitive riders and parents. So helping them out, I think, is the main job today.
And do you find, I mean, it's such a popular series, isn't it?
Amazing. I've been involved with it, actually, I don't know how long, I think it's 2002. And it's grown and grown and grown. And I think it's reached its level. I don't think we can actually fit any more in.
Oh, took a flyer over that double bounce. This has gone a bit Harry McClary. This will be testing whether he gets the right line to these corners. An honest horse, I'd say.
Speedy.
Well, there was 8 show jumping penalties, 4 cross-country jumping, and inside the time there for James Boxon and Hartpury College second. Into the arena now, Young Sorrento and Andy Castle, Andy riding for Nicola Albert, and they come forward from the qualifier and Solly Hull. The score for Hartpury College is the prevailing 20 star, so they can beat on a score of 36, which sets the standard at the moment.
Second jump, those KBIS planks have caused all sorts of problems today. I was saying earlier, Holly, it's amazing that this course, these jumps, they get taken from venue to venue.
Yeah, they travel, obviously it's most weekends with the 6 weeks, so they travel up. Andrew and Paul take them on the Friday, build, do the competition, dismantle, load the lorry, drive, build, and they still look as good as new, so great testament to Jump for Joy. As long as they don't knock them down all the time.
You're right, I mean, they are light, aren't they, so it doesn't take much to jump them, knock them down, but at the same time they're fantastic quality.
Yeah, some of the riders don't like plastic poles, but there's no way we could move a wooden set around the country.
Backbreaking.
Got a great vantage point here.
Yes, we're very lucky.
Well, there was 4 show jumping penalties, clear cross-country jumping, and 3 time there for Young Sorrento and Abby Castle. Score for Hartpury College second, James Boxon 28. Their star, they complete on a score of 40. And into the arena now, we have Bob Namara, owned and ridden by Anna Martinez, and they qualify at Wellington.
Well, we have a very busy looking little Dun in the arena now. Looks like he means business. What sort of feedback do you get, Holly, from those that have competed here?
It's always different every year. We have a lot of the same people, great supporters of jazz. They enthuse and they love it and they come back year on year. And then every year, obviously, you have a new batch, particularly the younger ones or people returning to eventing. And it's always positive. I mean, some people, it's a bit like dressage, you know, they feel their score could have been different, but the feedback's always positive. They think it's a great tune-up before they go outside and might highlight any problems they may have when they go outside, catch it before it happens.
Ooh. Got a stride in that bounce. It's the first time.
I thought it was a little pocket rocket.
Clever pony. So far proved to be very nimble. We really have seen a variety of horses today, horses and ponies, ages of riders.
Proves they come in all shapes and sizes.
That was a cracking little round.
Well, that is our first to leave all the poles up. 7th time there for Bolmara and Anna Martinez. Young Sorrento and Abbey Castle have got into the lead. 16 their start mark. They added 4 show jumping penalties, 3 cross-country time. They compete on 23. That sets the standard at the moment. And we now welcome into the arena Southerly Roberts. Again, she's riding Ticks. And they qualified several times over Periscoot, Hartpury, Westwoods and Wellington.
So Southerly Roberts, we've seen her a couple of times already today. And she was also runner-up in the 2016 Open Jazz Championships on this horse, Tinks.
I think she's one of our biggest supporters.
Well, as you say, Holly, it's nice that, you know, it's a testament to the series that you get riders coming back. It shows what a valuable winter training tool it is.
It's great to see them out before they go outside.
Because you organise quite a few events, so do some names, you know, do they sound familiar to you? Do you hear?
Yeah. I do Lark Hill next, and I would say that a high percentage that do jazz would also go to Lark Hill. It's in April, so this is like a tune-up for that, if that makes sense.
That's an interesting event, isn't it, on Salisbury Plain? Can be quite bleak.
Take your thermals and your waterproofs. Don't bring an umbrella.
No, you won't be for very long.
No. But the going's always good.
It's a great event. It's nice having events at sort of atmospheric places.
Well, unless the guns are firing.
Well, that adds a bit of atmosphere.
That was a sporting year.
Tender in Les Mis while you're going round.
Challenge. Hartpury, I think we're safe.
Yeah, I hope. This is a quick round.
Southerly's going for it.
Oh, lovely. And that final fence, they can really go for it. Party pats.
Well, just that first fence down for Southerly Roberts and Tinks inside the time. A score for Governor and Anna Martinez, 16 their start mark. With their 7th time, they finish on 23. Same score as Young Sorrento and Abbey Castle, but Abbey and Young Sorrento, same star mark, closer to the optimum time, however, so they are in the lead. With Governor in 2nd. Next to jump, it's SRF Can Do. And Kylie riding for the Fox family. They're number 237 and SRS Can Do qualified at very far.
So another familiar face here, Hartpury today, Kylie Roddy. She was a runner-up in the Novice Jazz Championships last year on this horse, SRS Can Do. She has won 4 qualifiers this season at Novice 100, 100 Open, and picked up another 7 top 5 placings. Now that is busy.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Holly, you spoke earlier about how close the competition is at these championships. Can you explain what exactly does happen in the event of a tie?
Okay, that's a good question. So if they've tied on the same final score, we then go initially to the star mark, and the best, so the lowest star mark, is the one we take. Obviously, if they have the same star mark, which sometimes they do, we then go to closest to the optimum time. So not the fastest, but closest to the optimum time, because we don't want to encourage too much speed.
Well,
So this is Ellie Healy on McCallum. Just entering the cross-country phase now. Who decides the course? Who decides how many skinnies, rollers, all that malarkey?
That's all down to Andrew Hunter. He designs and builds, but in consultation with Paul as well. They sort of work as a team on it, but Andrew's the official designer and builder. We use a different course at the final to the qualifiers. At the qualifiers, it's the same course, so it's fair for everybody.
It's great, isn't it? You can't pick you're picking a venue because of its geography rather than its ease or
yeah,
you know better
whichever venue you go to, you'll have the same course that we've had at Wellington or Hartpury or Berry Farm or I'm not going to forget where we've been. We seem to have been everywhere in the last 6 weeks.
Well, that was a clear show jumping, 4 cross-country jump and 5 time from Callum and Ellie Healy. The score for SRS County and Cardiwari is 13, the star mark. 4 cross-country jump and 5 times sees them complete on the score of 22 into second then at the moment. And into the arena it's Danielle Johnston with Cavalier Road, 10-year-old Chestnut Gelding, who qualified at Bishop Burton.
Well, these are the qualifiers that have been happening since January. Merriswood in Surrey, Hartpury, Wellington in Hampshire, Solihull Riding Club in the Midlands, West Wilts near Bath, Keesow in Bedford, Bishop Burton College in Yorkshire, Aintree near Liverpool, Bury Farm in Bucks, and Arena UK in Lincolnshire.
Yeah, I knew that. We've been to Hartpury twice actually.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the final here too.
I guess Hartpury is a good central location. So a long day for you, Holly.
Well, it's a long day for everyone, but yeah, early start. Had to do my horses and dogs before I came to. And then once we finish packing up, it'd be a late finish, but it's worth it. It's 6 weeks. And then we're already in the planning stages for next year, booking the dates in. These arenas get so booked up so early.
Well, that was 4 jumping penalties in each round, 1 in the show jump, 1 in the cross country, and 2 time for Cavalier Road and Danielle Johnson. Into the arena and welcome is Zeitgeist and Tara Williams, 1-2-4-1. Qualifiers at West Wilts. And the score for McCallum and Ellie Healy. 18, the star mark, so they finish on a score of 27, which puts them into 5th position at the moment.
So now I'm going to say goodbye and thank you to Holly Farr. Thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for putting this on. It's great. I'd like seeing the other side of the arena.
Give you a different viewpoint.
But I'll go back to my post now.
Go on, back to your desk.
Okay, thanks.
delighted to say I'm joined now by one of the competitors, Kylie Roddy. Kylie, how has your day been today? How many horses have you ridden here today?
In total, we had 3 horses, but they all did 2 classes each, so
Wow.
6 rounds in total. So yeah, I've had a great day. The horses have learnt lots, and for me, that's the biggest part of this. Is about training the young horses to be future event horses, and using it as a training tool throughout the winter to do that.
So it's so for you, it's quite a valuable thing, this jumping and style.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the horses have to learn very quickly to come out of a turn and jump whatever they put their nose onto, and they have to do it in whatever balance they've arrived in without any undulations and gradients that they'll meet later on in their eventing career. So it's very much
So yeah, Tara Williams retired there with Zeitgeist having a few problems at the corner. Now we have Florence Finzi in, and I'm joined by Kylie Roddy, competitor here, who's ridden 6 rounds here today. So you're saying, Kylie, this is good for youngsters?
Yeah, we definitely incorporate it in their training to be future event horses, and teach them to, or use the facility to, get them out in the winter and make sure that they start in March or April as they best possibly can. So yeah, we really, the whole yard uses it, not just me, my liveries and clients also.
Where are you based, Kylie?
Stokenchurch in High Wycombe, down in Buckinghamshire there.
And where did you do your qualifiers?
So we were pretty lucky. We had Wellington that were quite, it was quite local, Berry Farm, and we went to Solihull as well.
And how have you found this course today?
I think it's been a really good balance of accuracy and galloping. The corners up the top are really, really testing, but for good riding it's rewarded. I think Andrew Hunt has done a very good job with that.
Just had a no thank you. Oops. The second skinny. Well, we've realised since the novice class with the introduction of that second skinny.
Yeah.
By the collecting ring, it's quite...
Yeah, and it's also the people going up and down the stairs in the gallery there. You can just about see in the background. It's not always about the fences itself. It's often about the distractions around them and making sure the horses can focus or listen to the riders at least and focus. So, no, it's cleverly placed.
And quite some of the horses that have competed earlier, then maybe they weren't expecting it.
Yeah, and I think there was maybe more crowds there earlier as well. So I think that's quite, people hang on there to have a little look at the course before they ride. So I think that's been largely influential. Big jump there.
Got to get them together for the second one. Some of these fences come up quite quick, don't they?
Yeah, you blink and sometimes you miss them. That's definitely the way it is with some of them. But I've done this for a few years now, this series, and I think each year the standard of riding has improved and improved, which I think is a great testament to a series that actually each year it brings back a better calibre of riders, and it's definitely doing its job for riding style and safety, really. They're learning what canters to come to what fences in, which is what part of the training's all about.
Safety training is definitely very important, isn't it? At whatever standard, whatever level.
Yeah, and teaching.
Show jumping 8 cross-country jumping blocks and 15 times for Ronnie and Florence Finzi.
Yeah, and I was just saying that teaching horses to read and assess a fence. The rider's not going to be there all the time, and it's with these being knockdownable, it's actually quite a nice way to.
planks down again. It's funny, isn't it, the KBIS planks, what's going on with those then?
All of the distances from the horses I found has ridden quite short, and then I think with them being planks and that bottom plank not quite on the floor, I think they do run a bit deep, and they do sometimes, they're looking ahead and they're not really jumping over their backs, they're a little bit hollow, and they take them out behind. I've not really watched that much today. If they come down quite a bit, I didn't have one of those on any of mine, so...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You're the above average statistics then. They come down a lot, those KBIS planks.
I thought it was really good that they put the bounce in the 100 this year as well. I think it, it's a great training tool, and you're assessing. That was just lost a bit of balance coming into the wall, and then lost a stride pattern. But
that's the first time I've seen the wall pose a problem. Because it's actually quite inviting, that wall, would you say?
Yeah, it is inviting, and you come around the corner and it's pretty obvious it's there for them to jump. It's pretty. It's not as blind as the corners, that's for sure.
Have you been going inside or outside the firs leading up to that?
To the wall. I've gone round the left of the flowers. I've given mine. So all of my horses, the oldest one's 7 this year, they've all been really on the young side of their education. So I'm...
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition.
So this is Victoria Lee Beater.
She's doing a good job so far.
There really has been all shapes and sizes here today.
Yeah. I think typically these kind of courses would lend themselves to the ponies because their adjustability is very amazing, especially good ponies, and they've got really good riders on them as well, So, but it's lovely to have the young and up and coming with the older ones that are, whether they're seasoned campaigners or whether they're using it to produce their young horses. It's a lovely balance to have everybody in the same ring.
And what's your first BE event of the year, Kylie?
So hopefully going to Tweaseldown. Be there on the Thursday and the Friday. And it's quite local for us, which is always much nicer than getting up really early.
You're in a good location, aren't you?
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Oh.
It's very tricky going to that
And
second corner.
She did a good job to get to the second very well, though, there.
Really did.
Very good job. Good job.
Nice to finish on a good jump as well. Always looks quite inviting, that last fence.
Yeah.
This is Charlotte Milnes on Forinth. Now I've noticed some of the riders have come into the arena and Yes, I've noticed, Kylie, quite a few riders who've come in and they've gone up to particular fences with their horses.
Yeah, it's something that I would do quite a lot, especially if I think the fence is slightly blind and we've got the option to create a trust bond with the horse. You know, we're teaching them to look and assess, but we're not teaching them to be frightened of what's around the corner. So I think while you're in this situation, it's a useful thing to do. And there are horses that have particular dislikes, and if they know where they are, then they often find comfort in that. You do get the odd exception that'd rather not know where it is, so you have to know what you're riding.
This horse has struggled with the show jumps, but so far on the cross country and the time section, maybe I'm not putting a jinx on it as we come round to the corners.
I think his round definitely got better as he's gone on. He kind of lost focus at the beginning, didn't he? And
didn't like that second corner.
It's just caught him out again there. I mean, I deliberately, I have, and quite not really experienced, but the horse I rode here in the last class was in the open section, but I did get the class in before just to give him a bit of a pre-run round, because this time of year they do need a bit of an eye opener before they go in the ring. I don't know how many others have done that, but definitely.
Just picking up from where we left off, Kylie.
Yeah,
there have been a few that have gone round at least twice.
Yes, I think it's quite beneficial, especially when some of them come into this class and jump it dry, which is great for the very, very well-oiled old campaigner. But I think for the riders that maybe haven't been out all winter and some of the horses, it's quite nice just to get that little practice running first. This horse is a jolly fellow, isn't he? He's keen to get to his fences.
It's always nice to see when there is a prick and they're looking up for the job.
Yeah. The horses, sometimes you can see them smiling, can't you?
Yeah.
They're so happy to be out. Very positive there.
Yeah.
Really good. I think this one, will it be in the time? Yep. Was it? Is it 50, maybe one time penalty?
Let's hear what the let's hear what the comms box have to say.
They're the experts. Inside the time. Good job. Tell you, I've seen this little pony before, and it'd be one of my don't want to curse her, but it'd be one of my favourites.
And why do you like this one so much?
It never takes its eye off the fence, and it's got a great ability to adjust its canter stride and carry on doing the job very, very well. And then most of, pops the little stride in, and then she's gone long, and she still manages to turn it. Just diamond of a little pony.
Oh, steady.
Yeah.
Gosh. Wow. Jack in the box.
She's dynamite, isn't she?
Oh, this is a very competitive round.
She's just got to keep her focus.
Oh,
shame. You see around the turn, she just fell in, fell out, and then the balance kind of just went a little bit. Real shame. Good job.
Flourished.
Very good.
There's still time to tweet any feed questions you may have. Yes, as I was saying, Jane is here from Bailey's Horse Feeds. So if you want to tweet British Eventing, #Bailey's JAS with any feed queries, Jane is on hand to answer them. Currently joined by Kylie Roddy, who's competed 6 times here today. And Kylie, when you're riding this course, how much do you think about style?
The truth is, it happens all so quickly that the style is the last thing I think about, to be honest. I ride in the best possible balance I can and allow the horse to do the job in the way in which it likes to do it. So some horses, gallop on more. Some horses are suspicious and careful. But the style is the last thing. Making it happen is always the first thing in my mind to get things to happen. So it's probably the wrong way round, to be honest.
It's funny, we had Sasha Good up here earlier, another competitor, and she was saying sometimes you're so busy, not busy thinking about style, but if you're trying to ride pretty, you don't necessarily ride effectively.
Oh, I think that's very true. I think you have to make sure it is in the order of getting the job done and then polishing it once you're, well in the groove.
Well deserved pat there.
She's very happy. I think those giraffes have jumped a lot better than they originally did.
No, they certainly they come around quite quick, don't they? And
yeah.
Certainly in the other classes, they were coming down a few times.
And in the qualifiers, a lot of horses really didn't enjoy the look of them. They stopped and went round sometimes at them. Yeah, by the time they've qualified to get here, they're obviously a lot more worldly. But the odd few's missed them out. I think I've seen 2 that have had an error of course and not jumped them.
Yeah, certainly.
Oh, interesting line.
Oh.
He's gone for a little in the middle there.
Oh. Wow, got away with it.
Yeah. Oh,
not
but
at
paid
the
for it
corner.
there,
Yeah.
sadly.
Caught up with him in the end. Horse was like, don't think so.
Nope.
Sometimes they only forgive you so much, don't they?
Well, and I think there can be the more erratic it gets, the harder it is for them to concentrate, the horses. And then sometimes it's easier to take a breather for them and come again in a minute.
Well, he went for a gamble. If you're just joining us today on BETV, we are at Hartpury College in Gloucestershire for the Jumping and Style Championships, also known as Jazz, sponsored by Bailey's Horse Feeds. We have the final class of the day, the Open Novice, just coming to the last 6 riders. I'm joined here by Kylie Roddy, who's competed 6 times here today. And that looked a bit hairy going into that plant.
She was very committed.
Got to be committed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well done.
These corners, they have been quite influential, haven't they?
They really have. And if they're not happy going over the skinnies, then it's to the corners.
Yeah, it does make them second guess where they're going, and then they'd say, actually not today, if you don't mind, thank you very much. And I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but they are significantly wide now that they're at this last part of the day, the last class of the day. Oh, good girl.
Yeah, I really don't think actually we're getting up here the full effect of the corners. So Saskia Davis, no, this is Elsie Bradley. She managed to get Finnegan's Gold over the first. Saskia Davis is about to start her round, I'll tell you that BETV will be showing winning cross-country rounds every week from BE affiliated events throughout March and April, thanks to our new partnership with An Eventful Life, kicking off with Aston the Wolves for the first weekend of the season. That's galling, isn't it? Looks quite strong, this horse.
Yeah, when I saw him jump the last round, and he has his head very high, which then creates it very difficult for the rider to organise his balance. And then I think the fences come up pretty quickly, and it's quite a mishmash to get things organised. She's got him back there, and he's
fighting her all the way, isn't
yeah,
he?
he had.
Having a conversation.
And he's got 2 nosebands on, which suggests that she knows quite what she's sat on and how tricky he can be.
Wowzers. Don't forget, you don't have to be a member to compete in any of the BE events, whether jazz or the affiliated outdoor competitions. This is quite a round.
I think this horse might rather some solid cross-country fences.
Yeah.
They do know some of them, and they do sense how. You know, they would normally have a good. Yeah, I was just saying that for some horses it's very hard for them to settle with the jumping efforts coming up so quickly. You know, quite often when they're true cross-country horses, there'd be a whole field before you actually get from one combination to another, or and I think a lot of horses take that time to settle in between the fences, so this sometimes makes horses hotter or fizzier than they normally would be. So that'd definitely be the case with the last horse. Looks like he needed a bit more time between his fences so that his rider could help organise him for the question he was about to do.
He needs to get some grass under his feet.
Yeah, as they all do this time of year.
We've seen Laura Walkton here before today. She was competing earlier.
It's quite interesting. It's quite a contrast in comparison to the last horse. This one's very measured and laid back and makes the rider's job quite a lot easier.
Good rhythm so far. But now entering the time section.
Oh, very good turn. So when they're so balanced, the turns look so much easier, don't they? They don't look as hairy. Clever horse.
Wow, this is looking very nice. Now I've just got these corners.
Yeah. Good over the first. Very good over the second. I have to say this is looking very good.
Lovely. Great job. Just said goodbye, thank you to Kylie Roddy for her very helpful insider knowledge and insight.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to hear her point of view. She's obviously got a lot more experience than some of the other riders that are here, and someone that's had a few rounds round the course as well. It was an interesting insight.
And good to know her reasons for doing it as well.
Indeed, yes.
I'm joined again, as you can hear, by Jane from Bailey's Horse Feeds.
Yes, I just quickly wanted to catch up with a couple more questions that we've had through the Twitter feed and even on Instagram as well. Holly asked, what would you feed an Irish sport horse competing at BE 100 who needs a low starch and alpha-free diet? And we do occasionally get horses that are a little sensitive to certain feed ingredients, alfalfa being one of them. As I say, occasionally you get that can be sensitive, and it can actually pose quite a challenge sometimes, finding the right feed that doesn't exacerbate any potential sensitivity that they might have. That was a shame, because that looked like that was going to be a good line to that corner, and it just didn't quite work out. It's probably one that we would want to talk to Holly and talk through what she's tried and get to the bottom of what's going to be the best option. But certainly there are things like the unmolassed beet pulps like Speedy Beet. That's a good option for providing fibre calories, which is obviously not alfalfa product, but it's getting you vitamins and minerals that can prove a little bit of an issue. It's great to see Alicia here. She's won this class in the past, I think, with this very horse, and we also know that he's powered by Bailey's. He is one of those good doer types who's actually competing at a good, reasonable level. So would have been a challenge in the old days before they invented these things called balancers, which mean that you can give them all that top level nutrition without the calories that they don't necessarily need. So he's a performance balancer boy, and let's hope he performs.
It's looking good so
yes,
far.
so far so good.
And it's interesting, I'd like to ask you, Jen, about allergies. In terms of, what are you finding out more, what horses are allergic to? Is that becoming more
I think
well
people are
researched?
more conscious that potentially this can happen. That's a shame. He's no, he's had a little run out as
Put
well.
him off.
What a shame. That was it. Commentator's curse. But I think people are potentially more aware, but it is really hard to pin down a true allergy, a true allergy. You actually need to get your vet involved to actually identify if you feel something, is causing an allergy. But horses can be sensitive to certain ingredients, and really all you can do is sort of eliminate things from the diet. So it can be quite involved. You have to go right back to basics, take everything out, and then gradually introduce single things into the diet and see if you can find something that sparks the reaction that you don't want. But equally, sometimes I think feed can be an easy target for, perhaps there are issues with, it's actually management related, and looking at that before you pinpoint a problem with a particular feed. That was a real shame to see Alicia go out, but never mind, that's the name of the game, isn't it?
Could be another day.
Number 255. This combination qualified at hospitals.
I just had one more question on the Instagram feed, actually, from Celia, who we have communicated messaging online, but just wanted to acknowledge her question. She was looking for a non-heating option and to get condition on. And there are several options. You're looking at the obvious top-line conditioning cubes, but our new Ease and Excel is a very low starch option and can be the answer to some horses who are a bit sharp.
As we are about to watch the final horse of the day, I just want to thank Jane from Bailey's Horse Feeds for all her support, not only in sponsoring the competition, but our live streaming today and answering everyone's questions. I'm sure there'll be more of that in the future. And also we'd like to take a moment just to thank everyone involved in the Jumping and Style series. As mentioned, our sponsors, Bailey's, as well as KBIS and Careers in Racing, all the organisers and the whole of the JAS team, scorers, officials, coaches, and of course the volunteers. I'd also like to thank all the owners, riders and their support teams. If it wasn't for the owners and riders, we wouldn't have a competition to put on. And also we'd like to thank everyone in the team behind tonight's live stream on BETV. And of course to everyone for watching and supporting it. Please do carry on watching in the future for more to come. But that doesn't mean we're finished just yet. We've still got the final horse to go, the results and the prize giving.
No, it's been a great day, and I hope you have enjoyed following it. It's been great to have the interaction as well. Really makes it quite good fun and quite it's quite tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to balance everybody, but it's fun.
It certainly hasn't been predictable.
No, exactly. So yes, thank you. And I've got to run off now and go and get my rosettes and rugs.
Send them round the lap of honour for one final time.
Indeed.
Thank you, Jane.
Well, rapidly, Roy hit retired by Anna Martinez. So that does complete the action for collate the results as quickly as we possibly can.
Keep coming back to BETV because you'll be able to watch all this action again, plus behind the scenes interviews we have done throughout the day with winners of previous classes. So if there's anything you've missed and you want to see again, keep checking out britisheventing.tv. So stay with us, stay tuned. We'll be getting back to it after this short break.
Bailey's Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
Bailey's Outshine combines omega oils from soya and linseed, which promote head-turning coat shine and condition, provides slow-release calories for controlled energy, improve stamina and support recovery, and all while helping you regulate starch and sugar in the diet. Let your horse shine from within with Bailey's Outshine High Oil Supplement.
Top riders feed Bailey's Performance
Bailey's
Balancer.
Horse Feeds, experts in equine nutrition. Proud sponsors of the Jumping and Style Championships.
5th place to Landmark Abacus and Amy Furness there on a score of 21. In 4th place it is Spire Woodward and Moonbeg Boy on a score of 18, also on a score of 18, but just that little bit closer to the optimum. It's Sally Roberts with Tinks. 2nd place goes to Little Indian Feather, owned by Northern Lady Blythe, by Safi Oswald. They're on a score of 16, and we believe it's a win. It is a win for Laura Walton with their own Jane Wilson's Contro WV. While they are the top 10, we will be requiring Contro WV, Laura Walton, Little Indian Feather and Safi Oswald, and Tinks and Sutherly Roberts on their horses, and then 4th to 10th places on foot, please. So that is the top 10 in this Bailey's Horse Feeds Open Novice Jumping and Style Final.
Thank you for watching BETV. We're in the final stages of the Jumping and Style Championships, just about to commence the prize giving for the Open Novice.
Well, we welcome into the arena our prize winners. So, our winner, Contro WV and Laura Walton, on a very impressive score of 15. Second place, Little Indian Feather and Safi Oswald lining up next to them, and then Tinks and Sutherly Roberts. So, Jane Rocket from Bailey's just presenting Contro WV and Laura Walton their winning prize. Very generous training vouchers. And also Bailey's horse feeds to the prize winners. In second place, Little Indian Feather, Safi Oswald, in their rosette now. And then moving down the line to Tinks and Sutherly Roberts in third on level of 18. In fourth place then, it's Firewood and Moonbeg Boy. Fifth place, Landmark Abacus and Amy Furness. In sixth, it's SBT Cyrus and Katie Warner. Seventh, Kylie Roddy and SRS Can Do. Eighth place to Annie Castle and Young Sorrento. Ninth goes to Anna Martinez and Bob Navarro. And in 10th place, it's Ellie Healy with Sarah Healy and McCallum. They complete the lineup. Well, a few photos being taken of those prize winners. Grateful thanks once again go to Bailey's Horse Feeds, who have very generously supported not only the British Eventing Jumping and Style Championships, but also the Jump Training Championships, which took place yesterday. Had a hugely successful day then, and another very, very successful day today. So, Contro WV now leading away those prize winners with Little Indian Feather behind, and their Tinks and Sutherly Roberts third. So, Contro WV, Laura Walton, our Open Novice champions. Beautiful rug there supplied by Bailey. careersinracing.com, to all of our competitors, and of course the organising team. And we wish you all a very safe journey home. And good night.
So with that, here ends the 2017 Jazz Championships. And again, a big thank you to everyone who's made it such a successful event. Our organising team, volunteers, sponsors, and Baileys. The British eventing season starts on the 4th of March, so make sure you are up to date with all the rules and changes. You can check those out at britisheventing.com. Thank you all for watching BETV, and please do check back for updates. Thank you and good night.
The Jumping and Style Championships.
Non-heating Bailey's low-cal balancer provides essential nutrients without unwanted calories for ponies, good doers, and the laminitis prone. Its low-starch, low-sugar, low-calorie formula supports strong hooves, a healthy immune system, coat shine, and muscle tone. Feed a healthy, calorie-controlled diet with Bailey's low-cal balancer.